On May 4, 2007, the Greensburg Tornado struck the small farming community of Greensburg, Kansas, beginning one of the most heartbreaking tornado disasters in American history. What began as another quiet spring evening on the Great Plains soon became a nightmare that would leave nearly an entire town in ruins. As darkness settled over southwest Kansas, powerful thunderstorms intensified. Emergency sirens echoed across the countryside, and residents raced to find shelter while one of the most violent tornadoes ever recorded closed in. By the time the storm lifted, Greensburg had been changed forever. Yet from unimaginable destruction would emerge one of the greatest stories of resilience ever seen after a natural disaster. This is the story of the tornado that destroyed an entire town. Located in the wide-open plains of southwest Kansas, Greensburg was a quiet community surrounded by rolling farmland and endless stretches of prairie beneath some of the biggest skies in America. Home to just over 1,400 residents, the town served as the county seat of Kiowa County, where agriculture shaped daily life and neighbors knew one another by name. Main Street was lined with locally owned businesses. Churches stood at the heart of the community, and landmarks like the famous Big Well reflected generations of small-town history. Life moved at a slower pace, where families valued hard work, close friendships, and the simple routines of rural Kansas. The evening of May 4, 2007, unfolded like countless other spring evenings across the Great Plains, with the last light of day fading over the Kansas prairie. As the sun slipped below the horizon, families gathered for dinner, children prepared for bed, and the last customers left local businesses. Porch lights flickered on, pickup trucks rolled quietly through town, and nothing suggested that one of the most powerful tornadoes in modern history was already taking shape beyond the western horizon. Meteorologists, however, had been watching the atmosphere closely throughout the day. Warm, moisture-rich air from the Gulf of Mexico collided with cooler, drier air, sweeping across the high plains, while powerful upper-level winds created ideal conditions for long-lived supercell thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center warned that western Kansas faced the potential for significant severe weather, including destructive hail, damaging winds, and the possibility of strong tornadoes. It was the kind of forecast that immediately caught the attention of emergency managers, meteorologists, and experienced storm chasers across the region. As the evening wore on, towering thunderstorms erupted across southwest Kansas, climbing thousands of feet into the darkening sky. Most remained ordinary severe thunderstorms, but one rapidly separated itself from the rest. Southwest of Greensburg, a powerful supercell developed, its rotating updraft growing stronger with every passing minute as it tracked northeast across the open prairie. On radar, meteorologists watched the storm's circulation become increasingly organized, a classic sign that the ingredients for a violent tornado were rapidly coming together. Storm chasers converged along Kansas highways, closely monitoring the supercell's evolving structure. Even among experienced observers, the storm stood out. Its massive rotating base lowered steadily beneath the darkening sky as lightning illuminated curtains of rain wrapping around the circulation. With night falling fast, visibility became increasingly limited, making it difficult to judge the storm's exact position or determine what might already be hidden inside the darkness. At approximately 9:02 p.m., the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for portions of southwest Kansas as the supercell continued strengthening. In Greensburg, outdoor warning sirens echoed across town, interrupting the quiet evening and sending residents rushing toward basements, storm shelters, and interior rooms. Weather radios repeated urgent warnings as local officials urged everyone to take shelter. Many families had experienced tornado warnings before, but few could have imagined the scale of what was rapidly approaching. Just after 9:00 p.m., a tornado touched down southwest of Greensburg, already showing signs of exceptional strength as it crossed open fields and rural roads. At first, the violent circulation remained several miles from town, giving emergency officials precious minutes to continue warning residents. But with every passing moment, the tornado grew larger and more organized, carving steadily across the Kansas countryside beneath flashes of lightning that briefly revealed its immense silhouette against the night sky. By 9:41 p.m., forecasters recognized the growing danger and issued a rare tornado emergency for Greensburg, warning that a large and extremely dangerous tornado was heading directly toward the town. Outside, the roar of the approaching storm grew louder as rain swept across the prairie. Then, through the darkness, the enormous tornado emerged, and within moments, the lives of everyone in Greensburg would change forever. At approximately 9:45 p.m., the massive tornado slammed directly into Greensburg with incredible force. Within moments, entire blocks disappeared beneath a violent wall of wind, flying debris and blinding rain. Buildings that had stood for generations collapsed one after another as the tornado's roar drowned out everything else. Families huddled in basements and storm shelters while the ground shook overhead, unsure whether anything would remain when the storm passed. As the tornado tore through the center of town, its full power became horrifyingly clear. Entire neighborhoods were swept away, businesses along Main Street collapsed, churches and schools suffered catastrophic damage, and vehicles were tossed across streets and fields. Power lines snapped throughout Greensburg, plunging the town into darkness as exploding transformers briefly illuminated the enormous tornado. Every flash of lightning revealed a landscape disappearing beneath the storm. By the time the tornado emerged from the eastern side of Greensburg, nearly 95% of the town had been destroyed, making it one of the most devastating tornadoes ever to strike a single American community. Homes had vanished from their foundations, familiar landmarks had disappeared, and survivors sheltered beneath the rubble, with no way of knowing whether the town they had always called home still existed. The tornado continued carving a destructive path across the Kansas prairie, before gradually weakening. Around 10:05 p.m., after remaining on the ground for approximately 65 minutes and traveling nearly 29 miles, the violent circulation finally lifted back into the clouds. The roar faded into an eerie silence broken only by distant sirens, emergency radios, and survivors calling for loved ones in the darkness. Within minutes, firefighters, law enforcement officers, paramedics, and volunteers rushed toward Greensburg despite blocked roads, downed power lines, and mountains of debris. Search and rescue operations began immediately as crews searched collapsed homes, while neighbors helped neighbors climb from storm shelters. Throughout the night, emergency responders worked by flashlight and vehicle headlights, determined to find every survivor. One of the town's most remarkable survival stories unfolded at Kiowa County Memorial Hospital. The tornado heavily damaged the hospital, tearing away sections of the building and scattering medical equipment across the surrounding area. Yet because doctors, nurses, patients, and staff had taken shelter in the basement before the tornado arrived, everyone inside survived. Although the hospital could no longer operate, their preparation helped save countless lives during one of the darkest nights in Greensburg's history. In the days that followed, survey teams confirmed what residents already feared. The Greensburg tornado received an official EF5 rating, with estimated wind speeds of approximately 205 miles per hour, becoming the first tornado assigned the highest rating under the newly introduced Enhanced Fujita Scale. It remained on the ground for about 65 minutes, carved a path nearly 29 miles long, reached a maximum width of approximately 1.7 miles, claimed 12 lives, injured 63 people, and caused an estimated $250 million in damage. Officials also credited the town's warning system, tornado sirens, weather radios, and residents' quick actions with saving many more lives. When daylight returned, survivors emerged to a town almost impossible to recognize. Familiar streets had become fields of debris, homes were reduced to empty foundations, and businesses that had served the community for decades had vanished. Yet amid the devastation, neighbors embraced one another. Volunteers poured in from across Kansas and the nation, and the community's determination to rebuild was already taking shape. Rather than rebuilding exactly as before, Greensburg chose a new path. Residents rebuilt homes, schools, businesses, and public buildings with sustainability in mind, transforming the town into one of America's best-known examples of environmentally friendly rebuilding. What began as unimaginable tragedy gradually became a symbol of resilience, innovation, and hope. Today, the Greensburg tornado remains one of the most powerful and destructive tornadoes ever recorded. It reminds us not only of nature's incredible force, but also of the strength a community can find after losing almost everything. Though nearly an entire town was destroyed in a single night, its people refused to let Greensburg disappear, and that remains its greatest legacy. Thank you for watching our documentary on EpicWildSphere. If you enjoyed this documentary, consider subscribing for more in-depth stories exploring history's most powerful tornadoes and the world's most extraordinary natural disasters. And until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next documentary.